Welcome to the Online Success Journey Podcast, your opportunity to discover and learn from entrepreneurs like yourself. This is not your typical podcast, but a place where you can get the real story and find out how real people encounter speed bumps and detours, but journey through to find success. Now here's your host for the Online Success Journey Podcast, Patience.
Hello everyone and welcome to Online Success Journey. This is episode 196. Are you ready to join the clan? Today we have Jonathan Raymond, a CEO at Refound and the author of award-winning book Good Authority. In 2018, he was named one of the Inc. magazine top 100 leadership speakers after spending 20 years trying to figure out if he was a business executive or a personal growth teacher. He created Refound to offer a way to help people develop personal and professional at the same time. Jonathan has led business transformation projects in the technology, renewable energy, and the coaching industry. Hello, Jonathan.
Hello, good morning, and good evening to you.
Hello. I know the clan is anxious to hear your story, so let's get started with the basics. Can you tell my clan a little bit about your background, about what you did before you started your online business?
Sure. I started out my career as a lawyer. I grew up in New York and I went to law school and I was working for a very large firm in New York City. And I left there to move to San Francisco and got involved in the technology space. And I really bounced around for probably about 10 years, trying a lot of different things. I wasn't exactly sure what I wanted to do with my life. Like a lot of people, I think. And so I tried some different things in technology, in renewable energy, in software, and in the nonprofit world. And then eventually I found myself in the leadership training space, which is where I am today. So it was quite a bit of a journey along the way. I tried a lot of different things to get to where I am today.
Wow. Okay. What is the most dangerous belief an online entrepreneur can have?
I would say the most dangerous belief is thinking that, well, there's a couple of them. I would say it's expecting that things are going to be faster than they are, that, you're going to be an overnight success whether it's building an online platform, that's a really, kind of software heavy one or a mix of things. It takes a really long time and you have to listen to your customers, listen to your potential customers. You have to do a lot of deep listening to figure out what is it that people actually want from you and what is your expertise that's different than people out there. So I think the most dangerous belief is over-optimism. It's fine to be confident and to believe in yourself. That's great. But that overconfidence, I think, is probably the most difficult part.
Why do you do what you do?
I want to live in a better world than the world that we live in. And for me, my personal experience and what the world that I saw around me was that mostly, we spend a lot of our time at work, and work is a place of great unhappiness for most people. Not everybody, but for most people. And it always bothered me. And it's just something that I looked at and I said, it doesn't have to be this way. We don't have to create places of work where people feel like they don't have a voice, where people feel like they don't really have someone who's invested in their growth. And that's really the place that I decided to apply myself and to see somebody learn something at work and be able to apply that into the rest of their life to become a better parent, to become a better husband or wife, to become a more powerful member of the community. That's why I do what I do.
Let's put man aside. How do you know you are successful?
How do I know that I'm successful? If I do things that are helpful. If people write into us and they say, hey, that tool was really helpful. That helped me have a conversation that I was struggling to have. So those are a lot of the information that I'm looking for is the content that we put out. Is it helpful? Do people share it? Do people use it? Do people talk about it with others? That means that we're adding value. And then, of course, on the business side, we look at our metrics and we're growing. Every year we're doubling our revenue every year. So that's a really good marker that the business is succeeding in the ways that I'm interested in. So those are a few of the things I'm looking for.
Can anyone be an entrepreneur, or are some people more cut out for it than others?
Definitely, some people are more cut out for it than others. There's a mindset that you have to have. You have to be willing to. It's not just about taking risks. You look stupid a lot of the time. You look stupid to yourself. You look stupid to your friends, and you have to be able to go through that. And you have to be able to reinvest, you make $1,000 or $10,000 or $100,000, whatever it is, you have to be willing to reinvest that money and put it back into the business. And not everybody has the appetite to do that. They think, oh, well, I'm going to stash that money away. And the cycle, you think it's, oh, well, in 2 years, I'll stop investing in the business. And it just doesn't work that way. And, you have to keep reinvesting in the business with your heart, your time, and your money. And eventually you turn a corner. For me, it took about 2.5, 3 years of really doubling down on the business where, I didn't have to deal with so much of the ups and downs anymore. But there's a certain personality type that I think is okay with that. The number of changes that you make, you're constantly pivoting and changing, and that's not for everybody. And I think it's really important that we don't set up a world where we think only the entrepreneurs are successful, because most entrepreneurs fail. First of all, the statistics, 80% of small businesses fail. So it's not the case that entrepreneurs are successful. And I know, I have a team of 10 people, and they all are amazing and wonderful and brilliant. They're not the owner of the business, but that doesn't mean that they're not successful.
What have you learned from business as a whole?
I would say for me, when I started out, I was much more skeptical about business's ability to do positive things in the world. And over the last 15 years, I've learned both in my own business and in others that business can be a very powerful force for positive change in the world. It can, of course, be a very powerful force for negative change in the world. But that's really something that I've seen, is how many people, not just CEOs and business owners, but people want to have their business be a place of positive social good. And that's something that's really been wonderful for me to see over the course of my career.
Along the course of your business, do you ever have mentors or coaches yourself?
Yes, I have advisors that I work with that I call whenever I need help, or I'm just struggling thinking through a negotiation or something to get another perspective. So I have advisors. I've had other types of consultants that we work with to help us with specific pieces of the business that I don't feel like I'm the world's expert on. I know what I know, and I'm very confident in the content that we're putting out there. But I love bringing on smart people who know things that I don't.
What is the most valuable thing your mentors or coaches has told you?
I'm not sure that there's a specific thing. A lot of it is situational. But I would say the thing that I've learned, and I think this is largely from advisors and consultants, is to give things more time, to let them develop before I make a decision. And I think that's part of my strength as an entrepreneur, is making decisions with limited data set. But sometimes even just waiting an extra day or a couple of days, something else will happen, and you'll go, oh, okay, now I'm much more confident in that decision.
What is one thing that has contributed to your success?
Being in a stable marriage, having a wonderful wife who's very supportive and brilliant in her own ways, and being able to have a stable home life has been critical to my success.
What is one thing no one knows about you?
I don't know if there's anything that nobody knows about me. I'm a pretty open book, but most people probably don't know that I'm an avid surfer, and I love to get in the ocean. I live by the ocean in California, and I get in the water 2 or 3 times a week. And I'm not a good surfer, but I love doing it.
What grounds you?
I would say children are very, very grounding. I have a 14-year-old and a 2.5-year-old, so they're very grounding. And walking is one of my favorite practices. I love to walk, and we live in Southern California, so there's plenty of time to be in the car. But I love to walk, and that's the thing that I feel most helps me with, just staying on the ground, keeping in reality, and breathing and remaining in my human state as much as possible.
There is a lot of chat about the future of work. What does that phrase mean to you?
The future of work to me means a place where, or a time where, there's no conflict between the ways that I want to grow as a human being and the things that make me better at my job. And there's an integration between those two that is the future of work in our view. That's the work that we do with all of our clients, whether they're very large companies like Panasonic and McKesson, or very small companies that nobody has ever heard of. That's the world that we're helping companies build, is a place where I go to work, and while I'm doing my job and getting better at my job, I'm becoming a better version of myself at the same time. To me, that's the future of work.
What types of organization are you working on with these days?
We work with we work with enterprise companies, very large electronics companies with manufacturing base, other things like that. As I mentioned, Panasonic, one of our biggest clients. McKesson is a big company in the healthcare space, number 5 on the Fortune 100, maybe number 4, depending upon the day. We work a lot with technology startups, companies like Niantic and Illumio and Good Eggs in San Francisco and Silicon Valley. We work with financial services companies. Really, any company that is navigating growth, we work with them to help them develop people leadership skills in their on their executive team, through their senior managers, all the way through the front lines of their manager core.
Let's talk about your business, Refound and Good Authority. Tell us more about it.
We're a leadership development and learning company. So we build courses, we do webinars, we create content that is designed for a specific company in its stage of growth. So our content shifts and changes depending upon whether it's an established company or a newer company. But a lot of our content is around how to give feedback, how to have effective one-on-ones, how to conduct performance reviews in a humane way that contributes to personal growth, how to resolve cultural challenges. So really all of the soft skills that go into building a healthy company culture.
Where do we find this product and how can we connect with you?
You can find us at refound.com. That's REF like Frank, OUND.com. And you can send an email to hello@refound.com if you'd like to learn more about our services.
Thank you. So, Clan, there will be more from Jonathan in a moment. If you are listening on one of the many podcasting platforms rather than my website and you are encouraged by Jonathan's journey, go to onlinesuccessjourney.com for a bonus portion of the interview. The Online Success Journey is a wonderful membership community built for people searching for the path to success. We are one big clan and you can be part of this community for free. Once you have joined the clan, click on part 2 of Jonathan's journey or over 150 other journeys that are available and learn how you can find the right path for your own online success journey. That's a wrap, clan. Remember, success is a journey. Patience and Jonathan.
This is not the end of the journey. We hope you've enjoyed listening to part 1 and want to be sure you know there is a second part to this and every journey podcast at onlinesuccessjourney.com, filled with even more success tips, uplifting stories, and even a bit of fun. There are dozens of episodes only available to the members of the Online Success Journey clan. Check out the website and click on Join the Clan for more information. Patience would like to thank you for listening to this podcast, and she has a free audio gift for you at her website. Go to onlinesuccessjourney.com for instant access to this gift. Of course, you know that listening to the journeys of others helps each of us chart our own path. So make sure you're subscribed to be notified as each new interview is posted. There are so many ways to stay connected to the Online Success Journey and to listen in. And if you're enjoying the podcast, we appreciate your help in telling others. One of the best ways to share the benefit you get is to rate and review it at Stitcher and other sites by clicking the stars or completing the ratings form, by clicking thumbs up and leaving a comment on YouTube, or liking and sharing the podcast on social media. To review the podcast within iTunes, simply open iTunes to the podcast, click on Ratings and Reviews, then write a review. On behalf of Patience, and until next time, thanks once more for listening. It is our hope that this podcast will guide you on your own online success journey.